up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? This is my last show on odds.com for the time being. I hope to get a chance to work with them in the future. So I want to thank Odds with all my heart. Been an incredible year. So thank you so much. Tomorrow I will be back on my channel, Jimmy the Bag YouTube page. And that's what's up. All right, let's get to work. 7-5 day yesterday, plus 1.70 units. NBA, we went 3-1, plus 1.90 units. NHL 2-2, down 0.10 units. NCAA basketball 1-1, down 0.10 units. So we bounced back a bit in NBA, but we have this huge card ahead of us. I've already made 5 bets in NBA. I'm a little nervous about attacking it, but I have attacked it. I've made 5 moves. Shout out to everybody joining us here in the chat. The Czar in the house. And great call, the Czar. I wanted to roll with you on the Magic so badly. And but listening to the very shrewd, sharp cappers in the chat is what I need to do more of. And it's fine. It's fine that I didn't pull the trigger on the Magic. I have no ill will towards anybody who talked me off of it. And I thank you guys because you have my best interests in mind, and not backing the Magic is one of those things. And it was, the Clippers' first loss on back-to-back. So Robert Cherry in the house. Grizzlies plus 7.5. Blazers minus 6.5. Over 221.5. New York first quarter and over 219.5. Winnipeg money line. Colorado minus 1.5. And the Sabres over 2.5. Very interesting. Very interesting that you're on the Sabres over, but you're not on that full game over, and then you're not on the Sabres money line. Interesting, Robert Cherry. I like it. Here we go. We got penny bombs. Little Hong Kong shot in going on right now. Spenny just doesn't stop. I love it. Viper, Matty Ice rebound day. Matty Ice is the star of the team play today. It's 3-1. It's still absolutely gorgeous. There's Gerald Jones, Guillermo Zertucci, Peanut in the house. We have a Raps and Blazers parlay from the Czar. There is Clint Starr, the Die Hard MMA podcast, brotherly hype, ready to go. Michael Ervalina says Michigan not winning or covering first half made such a horrible day. Good start, Zaga. I profited a very small amount on my future on Michigan at plus 1,600, 16-1. By going for a middle that I thought I was going to get, but whatever, we'll take it. David Sharp ready to get to work. Heat first quarter minus 0.5, and Heat money line very, very interesting. Dav Fen, okay, we'll get you that bounce back. There's serious business. There is Spenny penny bombs, brotherly hype. Brian Warner in the house. Good look group. There's Slats 45. Brutal 0-4. Damn. That's rough. But Slats, I don't think I've ever seen you have one of those days. You'll get right back in action. All right. Mitch Fearing says, all over the Canucks today, baby. Mitch, I want to be with you, but I need more information. This is not the week off like old times. This is a COVID week off. So Adam Gaudette has COVID. We have Jake Virtanen sick, but we don't know what it is. And we already are missing Beagle, Sutter, and Pettersson. So those are 3 centers out. We're missing Tanner Pearson. So if you add Gaudette, Pearson, and Virtanen, there's 3 wingers out. Now we can move JT Miller over to center. We can play JT Miller and Bo Horvat 23 or 4 minutes each. But I need more information, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. There's Red Girl in the house. Birdie ready to get to work. Slats 45 says, do I need to pack a lunch for tomorrow's show? How do you add MLB on top of everything? Yes. We'll be back on the Jimmy the Bag YouTube channel, and I don't know what to do. I've had everybody tell me, just cut games. And I'm like, it's like crack. I'm like, I can't cut games? The people need me to cap these games. So I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to do. Big Smooth says, Flames Canucks, hope all's well. Thank you for your time. Much love to you, Big Smooth. And look at that. We got Chick Pitbull -3. Red Girl likes Calgary to win. Great to see Red Girl. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. And yes, we're going to stay at 11 a.m. And we have the freshest look here. Freshest look, under 218.5. Knicks, Wolves, brief breakdown. Oh, I love it. Freshest look. He says we love it. We love all the breakdowns. I know I can't. It's a battle. It's about. Yeah, and Ski says preparing for all these games and long shows make it harder, Jimmy. Yeah, I know. Joey Work says MLB starts tomorrow. So let's move past the big news of this being my last show for the time being on Odds, and just a big thank you to everyone at Odds. Enormous thank you to everyone there. It was a great year, and very thankful to be a part of the team, and hopefully we can get back in action together. Down the road in the future. All right, let's get to work. We're coming off a 7 and 5 day plus 1.70 units, and it is time to get to work. We're going to start with NHL. Yesterday, we lost the Washington New York Rangers under 6. When it was 3-2 with 4 or 5 minutes left, I was like, okay, I think we're going to be able to get a push out of this. But then there was a shorthanded goal and the empty netter goal, and we lost it. Now, I guess it's kind of a break-even spot because Detroit, Florida, under 5.5. We could have had an empty netter there and lost there. Jay Mills ready to go. And thank you, Vincente Gigante. Jerry Beatty, my max bet yesterday with Nuggets first half and Clippers, and I said UCLA matched up with Michigan every position. You are seeing it well, Jerry Beatty. James Lill, it's on my YouTube page. Jimmy the Bag. And, it will just mean that it will be even more important to cash tickets and cash winners. The intensity of the show might heighten a little bit. That's about it. All right, Brotherly Hype has the push-ups in the chat. Okay, let's do this. So, Columbus, Tampa Bay over 5.5. Look, I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay, and that over 5.5 was a mistake. And then we cashed that Carolina, Chicago under 6 very easily. So we went 2-2. And on the season, I just can't get right, but I'm going to get right. And now my family's life depends on it. So we're going to get right. Let's get to work right now. We have 6 games on the NHL card and then 10 in NBA. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. There's David Sharp ready to get to work. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Philadelphia Flyers and Buffalo Sabres. I had to make this bet last night. Look, one thing that has been putting food on the table, even though I pushed with the last one, has been backing the Flyers. Or backing the Flyers, what am I saying? Has been fading the Sabres. I'm on the Flyers here. If I had have waited till now, I would have got a better line. Damn. That's upsetting. Flyers -1. I got money line -200 and the puck line +125. That worked out to a -133. Right now it's -192 and +120. So I could have waited. It's funny. There's all these people trying to catch the falling knife with the Sabres, and I'm not one of them. I'm going to try to beat the Sabres game in and game out. Now, one nice thing for the Sabres is that they will be, at some point, getting Jack Eichel back. At some point. So there's Walla Dose in the house. So let's break this down and let's pull up the market movements here. So Philadelphia opening up at -185. It went up to -200. It's now between -187 and -200. So we have that there. Let me move this over quickly. All right. There we go. And the total is sitting here at 6. And I did think long and hard about taking the over. Red Girl says, I think Sabres might upset, but I'm scared. What about the under? I came close to taking the over. There's Johnny K in the house. Great work yesterday, Johnny K. I came very close to taking the over, betting the over. I don't trust Brian Elliott, and I'm happy that they're going to keep Carter Hart on the bench right now. But I don't really trust Brian Elliott, and he's got this spectacular record against the Sabres. So let's break this all down, and let's move quickly. I'm kind of not moving fast enough. Flyers 17-13-4, 9-6-1 on the road. Sabres 6-23-5, 2-11-3 at home. We're at KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Elliott 893 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Linus Ullmark 5-4-3, 2.60 goals against average, 916 save percentage. Joseph Gomez says over 5.5, crazy juice. I don't mind taking the 6. Brian Warner says if Hart was in net, I'd take Sabres all day. There's Who Bangin' Sports Talk in the house. Flyers hitting at 20.4% power play, penalty killing 73.3%, Sabres 22.7 power play and 78.4% penalty killing. Slot says this game scares me. They lose this, they get the record for losses. Remember, they were up 3-0 last game. Does pride come into play? Can't trust the Flyers. I actually think, it's a very good question, Slats. And I don't have, we don't know. It's hard to know what the corner of truth is. But I think it was another deflating loss. So they've lost 18 straight. And it matches the 18th longest in history. The worst since Pittsburgh 17-01 during 2003-2004. And they haven't won since February 23rd. It's their second longest home losing streak in team history. They've been outscored 74-28 on this losing streak. Joka Harju, Cody Eakin, and Brandon Montour scored, giving Buffalo this 3-0 lead. So they had a lead entering the third period for the eighth time this season. And it all fell apart. And Rasmus Dahlin, their first overall pick, said panic attack. We haven't been in this situation. We got panicked. The puck bounces their way, and I don't know. That's what he said. It was his turnover that led to the overtime winner, Provorov's overtime winner. Von Polo back in action. Great to see you. Illwise, I pushed us in that direction as well. There's Rashad Davids in the house. David Summers ready to get to work. Yes, Illwise, we're going to get that cash. Okay, so yes, and Vitalis says very good point here. Just because the Sabres have covered the spread the last 2 games, the 1.5 being, doesn't take away from the others. They lose the -1.5, 62% of the time. There's just Duke Chaos Puzzler in the house. Great to see all of you guys. So Provorov was the first star, goal and an assist for these Flyers. Coming off a 2-1 win over New York Rangers on Saturday, they've won consecutive games for the first time since capping a 3-game winning streak. Elliott stopped the final 20 shots. He's 17-2-2 against Buffalo. Now, more injuries for the Sabres. Dylan Cousins did not return after an upper body injury after getting hammered by Philippe Myers 12 minutes into the game. And Jack Eichel could come back. Tage Thompson returned after missing 3 games with an illness. Tobias Ryder was back. God, I always messed up his Reader. I think it's Reader. After missing 4 games with an upper body injury. And for the Flyers, Robert Hagg and Mark Friedman remain out of the lineup for the Flyers. I would like to make a move on the over. I would like to, but I just don't know where the Sabres' head is at. And I think that they lose a 19 straight game. Marlon Z in the house. Our man Marlon's been rolling, eating. Rashad Davids, it was a beautiful, beautiful bet that you made. And I've been trying to stay off player props because they're the main reason why my NBA record is what it is. And I did not. But I was thinking about you watching Jamal Murray splash 3 after 3. And it's spectacular work from you. But I didn't move on it, and I hate myself for it. Rashad, you've given me winners in back-to-back days that I have not taken. I know, Rashad. Look, it's tough. And it did correlate with what I was doing because I had the Nuggets first half and full game. Cap Money Benny back in action. Beautiful. Cap Money Benny ready to go. Okay, so There it is. I'm on the Flyers -1 at -133. Let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Maple Leafs at Winnipeg Jets. I moved two different ways on this. I took the over 6. Now, this did open offshore when the limits weren't raised at 6.5, heavily juiced to the under. Quickly moved to 6, and money's coming in on the under. Money's coming in on the under because the Leafs have been playing to quite a few unders lately, and also because Jack Campbell's in net. I think this is a mistake. I think there's so much offensive firepower here in this game. So I also moved on the Jets at +125. Let's see what it is right now. The Winnipeg Jets are down to +120. And this is a team that's rolling, and we'll discuss why I think this is. Yeah, Bon Polo, UCLA, it was nice. Covered, actually made a little bit of money on that future, the +116 or +1,600 future on Michigan. It wasn't sad to watch it go, because when I was watching Michigan play, I was like, Gonzaga is going to chew these guys up and spit them out. UCLA has a better chance of keeping that game close. Thank you, Sabino Anguano, my man. Okay, let's roll. Leafs, Jets, Bell MTS Center, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Jack Campbell expected to be between the pipes, but he's dealing with something, with some sort of lower body injury. And I wouldn't be shocked if he was like, you know what, I want another couple days off, because they're going to have to ride him with Freddie Anderson out. So it wouldn't be a shocking situation for me to see Hutchinson in goal and the over in the Jets to get hammered. Jack Campbell, 6-0-0, 1.48 goals against average, 945 save percentage, 2 shutouts. We all look at those numbers, but the sample size is too small. It's just too small for me to sit here and think that he's a monster. Connor Hellebuck, 17-9-2, 2.57 goals against average, 918 save percent, 1 shutout. And we see Red Girl also with me on Winnipeg money line. That adds confidence. Leafs, 26% power play, 77.3% penalty killing. Jets, 26.2% power play, 78.4% penalty killing. The Leafs had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 overtime loss at home versus Edmonton on Monday night. Matthews, leading 23rd goal. Mitch Marner, a goal and an assist. They got 20 saves from Hutchinson. So Campbell is coming off that 4-3 overtime win over Edmonton on Saturday. And his numbers are spectacular. And let's talk about why I'm backing Winnipeg instead. Oh, look at that. We got JT, Talk Sports with JT back in action as well. Great to see you, man. Okay. Trotwam in the house. Got the team ready to rock. Okay. So, and we're going to get through these NHL games and then spend a lot of time on NBA. And this is our last show where we can take a breath, because MLB starts tomorrow, and it's not just 4 or 5 games. It's the whole slate. Friday doesn't have as many games. Yes, Christopher Carter, unfortunately, I've just been so caught up with some things that we are going to have to start tomorrow's MLB segment with futures that I will have already locked in, and we can talk more futures. And look, I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is going to be, how we're going to play out all the sports, so I need a little bit more time. There's JA in the house. Okay, Winnipeg coming off 7-game road trip that saw them closed out by winning 4 or 5. Usually that's not a situation I want to back a team coming off a successful road trip coming back home. But this is a little different. It's a little different. Winnipeg has now used the same 18 skaters and same 2 goalies in 11 straight games. They're now going to be home for 4 games, and they need to keep winning. Paul Maurice, after that 4-2 loss, moved Scheifele to play with Connor and Ehlers. Scheifele got 2 goals and assists. Ehlers got 3 assists. Kyle Connor added 2. Hellebuck, as I said, when those 2 shutouts happened, or the allowed 1 goal and 63 shots or whatever over 2 games, I said Hellebuck's going to heat up. Kyle Connor is a goal and 4 assists in his last 3 games. And then you move Dubois to center Stastny and Wheeler, because you got to get Dubois hot. He's not being good enough. I think it's a spectacular move by them. There's Good in the house. Joseph Sasso, beautiful. There's Suze coming to us from Hawaii. Gotten up at 5 a.m. here for your show. God, Suze is the best. So, with that being said, Winnipeg is a point behind the Toronto Maple Leafs now in the division. And Winnipeg in second, Toronto first. And I just think this is a huge spot. Slot saying Dubois hasn't settled in yet. Well, it's going to help being between Stastny and Wheeler. And Sasso, nice job. Beautiful. So with all that being said, I think right now that this is the time of year when the Leafs start not being as good. I don't know what it is about the core of this Leaf squad, but I think the problem actually is their defense. And the deeper you go into a season, the more pressure is put on a defense. And I think that right now, if they were going to play a series, if there was a 7-game series starting tomorrow, I'm just saying I would take Jets game 1 and I would decide how to hammer it moving forward. So I'm on the Jets at plus 125. I'm on the over 6 at minus 120, and that total is going down. I think the over is a nice spot. Johnny K's on Jets, Kings plus 1.5, Avs over 5.5, and Wild over 5.5. So let's keep rolling. And those are my only 3 bets thus far in NHL. We have Coyotes, Avalanche next up. And you guys know, I don't need to keep saying how high I am on the Avalanche. I think they're going to win the Stanley Cup. And I think they'll beat the Washington Capitals to do that. Or, we'll have a 7th game of the Stanley Cup Finals. But I still like the Avalanche to win it. Minus 260, Colorado opened at. That's moved to minus 300. But you can get anywhere between minus 283 and minus 300. I'm not going to take those spots. And I'm not going to take puck lines that are minus unless I'm really confident. In the totals, from a totals perspective, this opened up at 5.5, and it's wow. So we just got now it's a pick 'em pretty much everywhere, or no, I guess it's slightly juiced to the over, but that juice is coming down. Matt Reed said the Jets need to get rid of Morrissey. Interesting, Matt, how Pionk has become such a star, and I thought Morrissey was going to be a stud. I was certain that they were letting all these defensemen go because it was Morrissey that was the stud. Cat Money Benny, you're absolutely right. It's a collaborative, perfectly put, Cat Money Benny. It's a collaborative effort amongst all of us to share our picks, which puts money in our pockets. Beautiful. And Aiden Hill Slats says, so Avs team total over 3.5 has to be bet from Slats 45. And there's Dylan Turner in the house. Turnsy, baby. And Spenny Pennybomb says Vegas is winning the cup. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong, Spenny. We're predicting the future, and Vegas is a good hockey team, and I want to see them play Colorado so bad. I'm not afraid of Vegas. I'm not, but they're the only team that can hurt them in the Western Conference. Or there's no Western Conference, so in the division, let's say. Okay, sorry. Let's keep rolling. Avalanche 22-8-4, 14-4-2 at home. Coyotes 16-14-5, 6-6-2 on the road. We're in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Aiden Hill 4-3-1, 2.43 goals against average, 920 save percentage, 1 shutout. 6'6" goaltender. He's been playing behind 2 beauties in Kemper and Ranta, and it's been hard for him to get opportunities. And now he knows he's going to be in net every night, and he's playing better and better, but I can understand why Slats wants to fade him. He's clearly the number 3 goaltender out there. All right. Coyotes, 18.3% power play, 83.5% penalty killing. And Grubauer in net for the Avs, 21-7-1, 1.74 goals against average, 929 save percentage. And listen, if the Avs don't get a backup goalie, because I do not want to see Jonas Johansson in the box because we know that Grubauer can get hurt. We thought this was a 2-goalie tandem coming into the year, and that's not the case. There's Dina in the house. Okay, Coyotes won 3 straight and 4 of 5. They're coming off sweeping the Sharks in a 2-game series at home Friday and Saturday, outscoring them a combined 9-2. Aiden Hill started both games of a back-to-back. 34 saves, second career shutout, 4-0 win on Saturday. He's played the last 3 games. All Sports Bra, Phil Kessel scored a hat trick. He now has 14 goals, tops on the team after having that many all last year, 14 all last year. And after the game, Kessel said, I'm a little luckier than last year. Then he winked and said, I haven't changed, slowly lifting his shirt to expose supple breasts. Clayton Keller had a goal and 2 assists for the Coyotes, who are now tied with St. Louis for 4th place in the West Division. They take their 3-game winning streak with them on a make-or-break 3-week road trip that covers 9 games. Nicholas Halmerson remains on injured reserve. Colorado has alternated wins and losses over their last 4, 2 losses coming in overtime, so they have points in 11 straight games. They bounced back from a 3-2 overtime loss at home to Vegas on Saturday night by defeating Anaheim 5-2. They dominated the game. This is a really good hockey team. They outshot the Ducks 48-15. Landeskog, Joss, Rantanen, Comfort, Nishushkin scored. Cale Makar, 3 assists. Nathan McKinnon added 2. It was the 6th time in his last 11 games the Avalanche had put up 41 or more shots on goal. Bowen Byram out of the lineup with upper body injury. Matt Calvert also out. All right. So I can understand why Slats. Thank you, Slats. No, it's all good. No one who is on the Red Wings. Sasso. This guy can say anything he wants. Look, no, there's no worries. Look, remember we have very simple rules here. Very simple rules. Spam, racism, lying, but he can hammer on me all he wants. What the fuck? What do I care? All right, so we move on to. So I'm not making a move here in Coyotes Avalanche. We move on to Kings Golden Knights. Kings 13-14-6, 7-10-2 on the road at Vegas Golden Knights 24-8-1, 14-2-1 at home. We're at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Now, there's Nilo. Of course you're allowed to be late, man. It was your birthday yesterday. It was your birthday. Okay, so we have here total at 5.5. It's a pick 'em at either side. From a money line perspective, Vegas opens up at minus 220. They're now anywhere between minus 195 and minus 215. Cal Peterson is going to be in net. They keep switching back between Johnny Quick and Cal Peterson, and deservedly so. I mean, you have all the big money being paid to Johnny Quick, but Cal Peterson, 2.54 goals against average, 923 save percentage, in comparison to Johnny Quick, 2.98 goals against average, 894 save percentage. I don't know. Oh, we do know, right? Is Marc-Andre Fleury is coming back from a tiny, slight injury. So I'm not entirely sure who's going to be in net. Could be Lehner, could be Fleury. Lehner, 6-1-1, 2.35 goals against average, 906 save percentage, being outplayed by Marc-Andre Fleury, but the sample size is down. Kings power play, 23.7%, penalty killing, 85.3%. Knights power play, 19.6%, 84.9% penalty killing. Kings have lost 3 straight and 4 or 5. They've kissed their playoff chances goodbye. They're coming off a 4-1 loss to these Vegas Golden Knights on Monday night. Los Angeles was playing its first game since Wednesday. That's their longest layoff of the season. And there was talk about the Kings coming out fast and strong, and they did exactly that. They were up 1-0. They outshot Vegas 10-3 in the first period. And then they got hurt badly. Tom Nosek of the Knights tied it up in the second before Martinez, Smith, Hagel scored. Nosek, who is tested positive for COVID-19, and then welcomed his second son. So he had a wildly difficult February. He's rolling right now, 7 points in 7 games. And if you get him rolling, then look out. This team's getting more depth. Vegas is one of just 3 teams that are perfect when leading after 2 periods. Remember that for your live betting. Vegas improved to 15-0-0, and the other teams that are perfect when heading into the third, defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning and Nashville Predators, of all teams. And the ease in which the Vegas Knights have won without Alex Pietrangelo in the lineup has impressed me very much. All right, we are going to be getting into NBA very, very soon. I am not moving on this Kings Golden Knights spot. I still think the Kings are a dangerous. There's Toite Latte, and I still think the Kings are a dangerous dog. And the Knights smacked them in the face. I'm not moving on it. David Summers is on Vegas minus 215 and Memphis plus 7.5 and Detroit plus 7. Detroit's been such a nice dog. Now we move to this Calgary Flames Vancouver spot, and I'm trying to get as much information as possible. I would like to back Vancouver Canucks here. It's going to be a Vancouver Canucks and no bet. We sort of talked off the beginning of the show why I'm not moving on the Canucks at this point, but we'll go over all that again. Flames 16, 18, and 3, 7, 11, and 2 on the road. At Vancouver Canucks 16, 18, and 3, 9, 9, and 2 at home. Rogers Arena, Vancouver, BC. Jacob Markstrom 12, 12, and 2, 2.94 goals against average, 902 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Thatcher Demko 12, 12, and 1, 2.77 goals against average, 917 save percentage. Johnny K sitting here on the Canucks money line. Flames 20.5% power play, 80.8% penalty killing. Canucks 19.8% power play, 78.6% penalty killing. Let's see what the mark was. So I almost moved on the Canucks at plus 100 last night. And I could see that the indicator books were moving it. So the 105 was going to come. The 105 has come. And I don't think the information we get out of Vancouver is going to be good. This total opened up at 6 and it's dropped down to 5.5. Brian Warner on Vancouver money line already. So the Flames lost 5 of 6, coming off 5-1 loss at home to the Jets on Monday night. Elias Lindholm opened the scoring before the Jets scored 5 unanswered. Markstrom allowed 4 goals on 19 shots. Through 2 periods, he was pulled. I expect him to get the start again. If this team doesn't start getting production from Sean Monahan and Johnny Hockey, the Flames fans are going to lose their mind. Complacency is set in with this group, and a tough coach like Daryl Sutter can't shake them out of it. The Canucks last played a week ago when they lost their 3rd straight game, 5-1 at home versus the Jets. You would think it was a nice break for the Canucks to clear their heads and come back for one final playoff push. But then, as often's been happening with any kind of break in professional sports right now, Gaudette comes back with a positive COVID test. Now Virtanen is sick at home, and he could have – we don't know what it is. So they're already without 3 centermen in Elias Pettersson, Jay Beagle, and Brandon Sutter. They're all out of the lineup. So they moved JT Miller over, who is – I love him at center. They still have Bo Horvat. So those guys can play 23 minutes each. But they're banged up, man. And so you have Tanner Pearson, Gaudette, Virtanen. So you have 3 wingers out. Dylan Turner is going to take the Knucks on the puck line. Michael Irvelina says, I love this over. I still think that Thatcher Demko is a spectacular goaltender. There's Gas Station Sushi in the house. Great to see you, Gas, my man. Okay, so 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota Wild and San Jose Sharks. A lot of you guys were on the Sharks in this last spot against the Wild, and I respect that. It was a great look. And then this would be the time where if I think the Minnesota Wild are a better hockey team, which I do, I would say, oh, the Wild are going to have revenge. But, man, can't do it with the way the Wild are playing. Let's see what the market has done here. We have a total opening at 5.5, and the over's getting hammered. It's moved to 6. Wow, very interesting. Very interesting. I was wondering, we have a couple things. Also, Mr. Gokster. Shout out to Mr. Gokster. We capped that Devils-Bruins game very well, and I stayed completely off of it. And Gokster was so bullish on the over, and it was an absolute gorgeous bet from our Mr. Gokster. Let's go to money lines here very quickly. We have Minnesota opening up at minus 150. They're now at minus 160. You can get them anywhere between minus 149 and minus 160. ZZ Dina, there are a lot of changes going on at odds. I'm not really sure exactly what they have moving forward coming up in store. So I've missed them. I miss them very much working with them, and hopefully I get the chance to work with them a lot more moving forward. But I don't know really what's going on. And there's, Raw Dog Gokster. There's Noli Nose in the house. Okay. Great to see you, Noli, my man. So can somebody tell me if there's been a confirmation for who's going to be in net for Minnesota? Because if it is Kakinen, I'm going to have interest in a Sharks team total under or an under, especially with this over getting hammered. And I'm going to watch the over get hammered. See, there's Dylan Turner on the Sharks team total under. Yeah, I get it. But I need Kakinen in goal. I would like to have Kakinen in goal. Talbot, 9-5-2, 2.37 goals against average, 9.25 save percentage. They're clearly choosing Talbot over Kakinen. Martin Jones, 11-7-2, 3.29 goals against average, 8.97 save percentage. You like unders with the Wild because their power play is so awful, 9.7%. Their penalty killing at 85.9%. There's Eric Jones in the house. We're getting into NBA in a second, Dustin. Dustin also on the Pistons. And Kakinen is expected. Wow. Okay, so that is going to be, I'm going to watch this go up and up and up and probably try to get underneath it. I did not expect all this money to come in on the over. And Noli knows, primed and ready to attack MLB. Got some great MLB cappers in the chat right now. Going to be nice, man. Johnny K says Sharks cash a ton of overs. They do, but Dean Evison has to be all over these guys. And the one thing that the Sharks do is they have don't leave out the lady games. I hear you, Jay. It's my fault for leaving out the lady games. I know you guys have been getting paid on them. There's DX Filer in the house. The Sharks power play is dangerous. And when you have a penalty killing at 85.9%, you can slow that down. Mitch Fearing looking at Wild. Okay, let's talk about Wild had a 3-game winning streak snapped here in a 4-3 shootout loss to San Jose on Monday night. The winning streak was fraudulent. They barely got past the Ducks at home. They beat them by 1 goal in each game. And one of those spots, it was a terrible gaff. I don't know. I can't remember if it was Miller or Stolarz, but just a god-awful play by the goaltender that gave a freebie goal to Minnesota to take that lead. Then they beat St. Louis 2-0. They were outshot 37-11 in that game. I remember a month ago I was so high on this Minnesota Wild team, and that's gone away. Erik Karlsson scored twice in regulation, then added the deciding goal in the 8th round. If the Sharks can get him going, that'll help immensely. He's done nothing since that move over from the Senators. That was his first 2-goal game in the regular season, more than 3 years. Matt Nieto is going to miss the rest of the week with a lower body injury. They did get Marcus Johansson back, the Wild, but they're still missing Marcus Foligno. Bonino and Fiala also scored, and Fiala's not been scoring. They've been getting outplayed. Look at this. In the first period, they took 11 minutes to get a shot on goal. And it's really difficult to trust an under with Martin Jones in net. So as this line goes up, I'm going to take a good eye. I'm going to keep a close eye on what I can get the Sharks team total under on. All right, so that is NHL. And in NHL, I've only got 3 spots I'm attacking. Flyers -1. And then I'm on the Jets money line at +125, as well as the Leafs Jets over 6 at -120, and that's going down. All right, we move on to NBA. Chris Brady, we have lots of guys that come in and try to be a villain. And we have very simple rules, and he's not breaking any of them. We have very simple rules: no racism, and no spam, and no lying. And those are the rules that were given to us from the legend Lodos Loshak. So, all right. Okay, there we go. We have borderline racism, and I can boot him. Done. That's all he had to do. Borderline racism, and I can boot him. All right. So, oh no, it's just deleted. Let me boot him. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, no doubt. But those are the rules. So you can hammer on me all day. You can hammer at the guys in the chat. You can play the villain all you want, but no racism, no spam, no lying, and then you can't say anything even close to negative about the female cappers in our chat. We need our queens to be respected and loved. We need more female cappers. So that's another thing. Okay. So we move on. That was a refreshing start, eh? Gets everybody sharp and ready to go. Oh, damn. All right. Okay. This is the first time this has happened in a while, man. It's been pretty loving in here for a long time. Maybe the announcement that I'm going back to my own channel has upset the sleeping, what do we call them? Assholes? I don't know. All right. Okay, let's roll. It's okay. We'll know. All right, we move on. And by the way, Alex Ramirez, OG lowbagger, beloved by us, Spidey play of the day, and just one of my favorite guys to cap with. Yeah, DX Filer, no lying. That was put in by Loshak, and I like it. We track all the picks. Everything is transparent and honest. So you can't come in here and lie about somebody else of that nature. That was something that was a Lodos Loshak thing. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's get to work. Oh no. Robert Cherry just got popped for COVID. Oh no. All right. Okay, Robert Cherry, man. Let's just all send Robert Cherry the most positive, healing energy that we can. Robert Cherry, please give us updates. We will be thinking of you. God, I hate hearing that. We will be praying for you, thinking about you, sending you all the positivity, light, and everything we can. And please let us know how it goes. Oh, I know you did, Desar. I know you did. Okay. All right, let's get into NBA. And you guys know I don't need to go into a sad monologue as to what this year has been like for me. It's been rough. We went 3-1 yesterday, and we're just going to take it one day at a time. And as our man Maxwell Smart always says, shooters shoot. We'll just keep firing away. Hornets -3.5. Nuggets first half full game. Those were just easy cashers. And then Atlanta Phoenix under 220 was a mistake and a loss. Let's get to work right now. We are going to start with me. So, Rashad Davids gave me a prop bet I didn't bet last night, but I decided that, oh, wow, and Spenny says Clippers are signing Boogie Cousins. So, I have decided to get back in the old player prop game. And I cut one of the player props, but I moved on one. Norman Powell. Over 17.5 points at -120 for the Portland Trail Blazers. It's Blazers at Pistons. I've made 5 bets in NBA. And again, before last night, I've been running real bad. So fade away or tail, however you want to hammer things. And Robert Down says, Andre Drummond rising from the dead today on my fantasy team finally. It'll be interesting to see how long he plays for. Andrew McNicholas in the house. All right, and we love you, DX Filer, my man. Okay, let's go. Oh, we will, Matty Ice. Blazers, Pistons. Let's cap this NBA card together and attack. Here we go. The Blazers open up as 6-point favorites, and that's now moved to 7.5, but it's even moving further. The leading indicator books have moved it to 8. That's a good sign for my Stormin Norman. Oh man, gas station, it would be cool to see a parade down the strip. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Glenn Elliott man's on the Knicks and the under, and Red Girl is also on those 2 spots. Those are cappers that should be tailed in NBA, unlike myself this year. The total opened up at 219.5. It is up to 221. Brian Warner on the Pistons points. My man Bri had a very wild day at the sports book, the Cherokee sports book yesterday. And Desar says Doumbaya may be out again. 2 Pistons are beat up bad. Let's go over all of that right now. Blazers pace the last 5 is 22nd in the NBA, 96.8 possessions a game. They're 3-2 over that span. Pistons pace last 5, 13th in the NBA. They're 98.3 possessions a game. Pistons are 1-4 over that span. Johnny K also on the Pistons. David Sharp also making moves on the Knicks. Vitalis Blazers team total over 29 in the first quarter. They've been covering the team total over 28 by 72%. They will have no problem tonight covering the 29. If your brick and mortar casino takes Blazers first quarter -2, I like it. There you go from Vitalis. That was great stuff. Portland has opened up this road trip with 3 straight wins. They came into it losing 2 straight. They're coming off a 122-117 win at Toronto on Sunday. McCollum scored 7 of his 23 points in the final 2 minutes. Lillard had 22 points, 11 assists for the Blazers. Powell scored 13 points in 27 minutes in his second Portland start. 13 points in 27 minutes. He got 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. You can tell the way Dame and CJ are talking how excited they are about having a 3-guard lineup and how they think Norm Powell is going to fit in perfectly, and they didn't get a chance to do it against the Raptors. And, of course, we had Norm just keyed up. Now, I think this is a perfect spot for Norm to go off tonight for over 17.5 points, and that's because of the coach on the other side, Dwayne Casey. Dwayne Casey and Norm Powell had a great relationship. Dwayne Casey loved Norm Powell. Norm Powell was 4 years out of college, played all 4 years at UCLA before he came in, and Dwayne just fell in love with him. And whether Norm was on the floor or sitting, because, he came in as not a high draft pick, and he handled everything so well. And now he's going to see Dwayne Casey, and he's going to show off. I think he's going to show off for him. I think he's going to have a big night in front of the coach that really gave him the opportunity to sign this big contract that he's going to sign in the summer. Pistons had their 4-game losing streak, snapped their 4-game losing streak. Pistons snapped their 4-game losing streak when they completely smashed the Raptors 118-104. 2020 second-round pick Vanderbilt product Sabin Lee went for 19. Sadiq Bey, 19. Hamidou Diallo, 19. I mean, that's who was beating up on the Raptors. What wasn't it just 2 years ago we were NBA champs? Now Sadiq Bey and Sabin Lee are taking dumps on our lawn. Unbelievable. Detroit had 6 players in double figures. Diallo had 10 boards to go with it. Corey Joseph, another guy that Dwayne Casey loves, scored 17 points. He's going to get a lot of run here. Isaiah Stewart, 14, and Frank Jackson, 12. Corey Joseph is going to get a ton of run against this guard setup. I wonder if, I probably shouldn't back him after a 17-point game, but he's so excited to be getting this opportunity. Let's just see what Joseph is at here. Are they going to even give it? So they're not even going to offer up by Corey Joseph. The Bizarre and Lee and McCollum props. Dustin S says Portland always plays down to opponents. It will be close. Pistons +7. Uncle Oliver on Oklahoma City first quarter. The Pistons won easily despite turning the ball over 20 times. Sekou Doumbouya, as was said in the chat by our man the Czar, is questionable. He's sick. Rodney Magruder, elbow, will not play. Dennis Smith, back, will not play. Wayne Ellington, sore right calf, is doubtful to play. So they're beat-up squad, no doubt about that. Spenny Pennybomb saying Casey wanted Corey Joseph back. He will play well there. All right. Okay, so I'm on Storm and Norman Powell over 17.5 points. That's my only spot on this game. Desar says Pistons can cover, but they need Sekou. I understand that. And I also need to watch this new makeshift lineup more. Dylan Turner's on the over. And Vitalis, that's going to be at 8 very soon. And Polo this, Polo that, saying double-digit win for Portland. All right, we move on to Miami Heat at Indiana Pacers. Heat, Pacers. This total opened up at 217. It's now at 218. And Miami opened up as 1.5-point favorites, and that is where they stand right now. Dutch Boy Fresh says, I think D. Lil under points could be a look, averaging 22 last 3. I don't know if he's a hundo, and Powell will be another score. Under 27.5, strong lean. Oh, that makes so much sense. This could be a really easy game. That makes so much sense, Dutch. Oh, Dutch, I think that is a really, really sharp look. I think that is a really sharp look. Wow. Spenny said that Norm just wrote the Raps a letter thanking the organization. Give it a read. I will for sure. I loved him. And now he's going to get a big payday somewhere. And he deserves it. Wow. Dutch, I think that is so sharp. I really like that. Okay, I'm going to look into that spot after the show. I just hearing that, I'm like, that makes so much sense, especially if this is that double-digit victory, and especially if they want to get Norm Powell rolling. That sounds nice. And then Abigail Rozak saying Lillard assists over 7.5, and that makes sense. Both of those spots make sense. All right, great stuff. This is why the show is special. It's because of the chat. All right, let's move on to Heat Pacers. Heat 23-24, 11-12 on the road at the Pacers, 21-24, 8-12 at home. We're at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Heat are 1-4 over their last 5 games. They're pace is last, 30th in the NBA, 93.65 possessions a game. Pacers are 3-2 over their last 5. Their pace over the last 5, 4th in the NBA, 101.88 possessions a game. And North Ender in the house, great to see you. And Hoobang at Sports Talk, our guy, DJ Big Boss, saying this chat is priceless. It is, and always has been. The Heat snapped their 6-game losing streak with a 98-88 win at the Knicks on Monday night. Bam goes for 20. Duncan Robinson, 20. Tyler Hero finishes with 18. Dragic plays in his first game since March 19th. He sat out 4 games following the loss to the Pacers with back spasms. Kendrick Nunn did not play against the Knicks. He's got a sprained ankle. Spoelstra said that Nunn's moving around, still traveling with the team, so he could easily be back in the lineup. Victor Oladipo will not play tonight. He's still dealing with a head cold that is non-COVID related illness. The Pacers had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 132-124 loss at Washington on Monday night. Domantas Sabonis had 35 points and 11 boards for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon added 26 points for Indiana, which was out-rebounded 55-37. Indiana entered in 9th place in the Eastern Conference, 2 games ahead of Chicago for the 10th and final play-in spot. They now 4 games are ahead of the Wizards, who began in 13th. Doug McDermott, right ankle. He's listed as questionable. He was ruled out pregame. Jeremy Lamb, toe is questionable against the Heat. Matty Ice says, I like the Heat here. And, I can't seem to figure out this Pacer squad. I mean, and maybe they're just a bad basketball team. JT saying Brogdon is a beast. Matty Ice liking the Heat. Dylan Turner's all over the Heat. Brian Warner says Heat or pass. Brian Warner saying Brogdon double-double in play. Robert Cherry leaning towards the Pacers plus 1.5 and under. And Sabonis for first basket. Robert Cherry been eating off those first basket props. Bleds W saying Sabonis rebound prop has been money. It has been. Johnny K on Pacers. You know what? I'm going to have to stay off of this. I thought that Heat victory over the Knicks was sort of underwhelming. And if the Pacers were coming off a win or playing well, maybe I'd be a little closer towards the Heat. But they're coming off a real ugly basketball team where they didn't defend. Uncle Oliver, a.k.a. Lucky Lefty, saying he got a win tonight. Rondell Berkeley saying Sabonis on the glass. I'm going to have to stay off of this. Matty Ice saying a must-win spot for the Heat. I agree. It's a must-win spot for the Pacers as well. But I agree. Robert Allen on Pacers plus 1.5. Utah over 226. Denver over 220. Johnny K says under might be the play, especially after the Pacers played. But the Pacers' pace last 5 is 4th in the NBA. And this total has gone, up, right? From 217 to 218? Because the Heat are playing slow. Predictions guy, my friend, great to see you. We still have that ping pong match that we have to play. Don't think I forgot. And Rashad saying steer clear of this Heat game. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. I can make legitimate reasons why. If I had a free bet, sure, I'd take the Heat. And Robert Chase saying Heat banged up past few games. They're almost dead to him. Vincente Gigante saying both teams are desperate and should be motivated. Maybe an underlook. Yeah, maybe, but I just don't want our bias to come into play because we just saw that 98-88 win. Matty Ice says no way Heat loses tonight. All right, I'm going to stay off. We move on. And let me just pull up and Dutch Boy first saying Heat have to be the look here. I agree. After the Pacers played so badly, I'm pretty hesitant to move on them. And I just can't. Let me just pull up very quickly here. Let me just pull up exactly what I locked in NBA. Oh shit. Okay, sorry. I'll pull it up shortly. Well, I know I didn't move on Mavericks Celtics, so let's break this down together. Here we go. Dallas Mavericks 24-21, 13-11 on the road at Boston Celtics 23-24, 13-8 at home. TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Mavs 3 wins, 2 losses over their past 5. They're paced 16th in the NBA, 97.8 possessions a game. It's kind of tricky because 2 of those games were without Luka. One of those games without Luka and Porzingis. Celtics are 2-3 over their last 5, 7th in their pace last 5, 100.11 possessions a game. And there's razor sharp picks in the house. Razor. And with this spot here in that last game, I was so angry. I said on the show that with Brown out, Tatum's going to get hot. And he goes for 34-9, and I don't make the prop bet on him. Okay. So let's break this down together and see what we are dealing with. Eric Jones liking Boston over the total. Mavericks open up at -1, and Boston are now favorites at -1 at the leading indicator books. Oh, shoot, I was already on total. So let me see the totals here. The total opened up at 224.5. They're now at 223 or 222.5. Gas station sushi under 27.5 for Dame. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a great look. Great look. Okay. TD Garden, Boston, Massachusetts. Mavericks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 127-106 win at Oklahoma City on Monday night. Luka went for 25 in his return to the lineup. He'd missed the previous 2 games, sat out Friday's loss with back soreness, Saturday's loss with a non-COVID-related illness. Kristaps goes for 20-9 after missing the previous game with an injured right knee. Hardaway adds 19 for the Mavericks. They shot 53% from the field. They never trailed. And Dorian Finney-Smith plus 32. Finished with 12 points, 5-8 shooting, 27 minutes. Willie Cauley-Stein started the 6th straight game. J.J. Redick, with the heel injury, does not have a timetable to return. Celtics had their 2-game winning streak snapped in a 115-109 loss at home to the Pelicans on Monday night. They were without all-star Jaylen Brown, who missed the game with bruised left hip. Tatum went for 34-9. Kemba goes for 23. Smart, 15 points, but he was 0 for 6 from three-point range. Robert Williams scored 7 to go with 10 boards, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. Fournier made his Celtics debut, and it was ugly. 0 for 10. 0 for 10. He probably gets right here. Fournier probably shows something here. After an 0 for 10 debut with the orange sneakers on, he looked terrible. Let's see what we get with Fournier right now. Fournier is not available for me to take a prop on. Razor Sharp says, tomorrow is one of the best days of the year. Can't wait. God, we're surrounded by great baseball cappers. It's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. Rondell Berkeley saying the unicorn going to be the difference. Robert Allen might take Boston here. Tristan Thompson not going to play still with COVID protocols. Romeo Langford, who's been dealing with COVID protocols too, is questionable to play. And Semi Ojeleye is out indefinitely. David Sharp says, I back Fournier after a bad night to just give me another bad night. Super streaky shooter. You're absolutely right. And then Matty Ice ready for baseball too. So this is a no-move spot for me. A no-move spot for me here. Let me see if I can pull up and just go over everything really quickly with you guys that I did jump on. Here we go. So the next spot for me is late. So I've got 4 bets that I've already locked in that are later on the card, and I haven't added anything yet. And David Sharp's on that first half under, I believe, because he says Mavs are 2-9 in the first half under. And Brian Warner, I get it. PSA says, when I throw something in the chat, it's a lean. I post actual action on Twitter when I get the tickets. I saw you, 11 tickets yesterday, Bri. Exciting. 11 tickets, $100 a pop. Bob Taylor, absolutely. I love it. Look at Matty Ice. He's pumped, man. There's Big Z, Big Zomega in the house. Great to see all you guys here. And I hope that you guys can join me tomorrow and moving forward on the Jimmy the Bag YouTube page. Sadly, this is my last show for the time being on odds.com. All right, we're going to move on to Rockets Nets. Houston Rockets 13-33 on the year, 7-16 on the road. The Brooklyn Nets 32-15, 18-6 at home. Dylan Turner says, "God, I wish I could go to Comerica Park for a ball game." Man, I wish I was sitting right beside you. Oh man, we could go to Slows, get some ribs. Oh my God, Green Dot Stables for some crocodile sliders. God, I miss Detroit. God, I miss Detroit so badly. Okay, Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. Rockets 2-3 over their last 5. 11th in pace, 98.60 possessions a game. Nets are 4-1 over the last 5. 19th in pace, 97.30 possessions a game. Rockets have lost 3 of 4. They're coming off a 120-110 loss at home to Memphis. Oh, Von Polo says, "I can't wait to go to Camden Yards to see the Orioles game next week." Oh, Von Polo, that's next. I'm going to meet you in Baltimore. We'll go to Salt for dinner, then head to a game. God. The Salt has goat cheese donuts for dessert. Wagyu beef sliders. God, I love that restaurant. I hope it's still there. I hope that the pandemic hasn't knocked that restaurant out there. So Talk Sports JT, I'll be live every day, just like normal. I think we're going to change the days to Tuesday to Saturday so that Saturday will be a horse racing day. We will see. But 11 a.m. on my channel. All right, let's go. All right, God, I can't stop thinking about Slows. The Czar talking about Slows, man. Oh, God. Rashad says focus. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Baltimore, Detroit, 2 of my favorite cities, and the whole idea of coming back to North America was that I would be able to hop in the old Toyota and head down there and party with my guys, and I still haven't been able to. And look at Von Polo saying, "I'll be taken care of." Von Polo, I promise you, I'm going to be in Baltimore hanging. Okay, let's get back to work. So, Rockets have lost 3-4. They're coming off a 120-110 loss at home to Memphis. And Spenny talking about the big races this Saturday. Huge races. Huge. It's one of the best days of the year this Saturday. Jayshawn Tate, 24 points. Kelly Olynyk had a season-high 25 points to lead the Rockets in the second game since being traded from Miami as part of the Victor Oladipo deal on Thursday. Christian Wood sat out with an illness after missing Saturday's game with a sore right ankle. He's probable to be back in the lineup. Avery Bradley had a debut. He scored 3 big points. Daniel House Jr., probable. He missed Wednesdays, or he missed whatever the... Could be Wednesdays. He missed the game against the Nets due to back soreness. John Wall, questionable. It's just... How tricky is NBA these days? How tricky? Oh, J.A. Washington, D.C. God, I love that city. So I've only been there once, too. Man, yeah. Took the train in. It was great. Brian Warner saying Houston getting way too many points. Nets going to save their energy for Charlotte. Nets win, but Houston covers. And the Czar saying Kelly O playing very well. He is. He's brought a little bit of excitement, a little hope. The question is, what if John Wall is announced out? Are you going to get an even better? Well, you're going to get an even better line. And Aaron, guys are talking about how Brooklyn's on the first half of a back-to-back. All of this makes a ton of sense, what you guys are saying. And so this opened before the limits went up at 14. It's now 12.5 across the board. The totals dropped from 232 down to 230.5. But if Wall's out, you're gonna get more points. So at this point, if Wall's in, oh, thank you, G, my guy. Then I agree that probably the Rockets are the play with Brooklyn on the first half of back-to-back, and then the under is probably in play as well. But I want to know that Wall is in the lineup or not. I have to. David Sharp saying Houston is 6-0 in the last 6 to the first half over. Would do back tonight. Also played first half over 117. David Sharp. That's a very interesting look. David Sharp, then how do you – are you nervous about the Wall situation? And how do you think that will affect your total? Okay, so I need to find that information out about Wall, so that's going to be a stay off at this point, but definitely be looking into it. Johnny K, Nets letdown spot. Rockets money line is a player. Champino in the house with McCollum over 21.5 points. Brooklyn coming off their second straight win, 112-107 at home versus the Timberwolves. Harden, 38 points, 13 assists, 11 boards, tying in that single-season record with his 12th triple-double in just 32 games. Jason Kidd had 12 triple-doubles for the Nets in both 06 and 07, 08. Kyrie had 27 points in his return, and the Timberwolves won every quarter except for the one I bet on. Nets won for the 18th time in 21 games. Kevin Durant still out with a strained left hamstring. They still don't have LaMarcus Aldridge back. Oh man, what watching LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, the perimeter is pretty busy already with Brooklyn. So I don't know what they're going to be doing roasting marshmallows out there on the perimeter. It's going to be all 5 guys in the perimeter when those soft ass bitches are out there. All right. And Robert Cherry says, DM me on Twitter for official MLB plays and parlay, guys. Robert Cherry, look at this. Robert Cherry tests positive for COVID. You think he's here capping with us right now. And he's an OG low bagger. Definitely follow him on Twitter. And David Sharp says, Wall hasn't been missing games. I don't think he sits. If he does, I'll play it again when they drop the total. Interesting. Okay. Let's keep rolling along. We move on to Jazz Grizzlies, 8 p.m. Eastern. Jazz 35-11, 15-9 on the road. Memphis Grizzlies 22-22, 11-13 at home. FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Jazz are 5-0 over their last 5. They're paced 9th in the association at 99.80 possessions a game. Grizzlies are 3-2. They are second in pace over the last 5, 102.66 possessions a game. Let's see what we are dealing with from a market perspective here. We have Utah opening up as 8.5-point favorites, and when the news of Donovan Mitchell out for personal reasons hits, it goes down to 5.5. There are still some 6s on the board. This total dropped 3 points or 3.5 points when Donovan Mitchell was going to be out of the lineup. Razor Sharp, I would be there in Vegas with you guys, but right now, if we cross the border, when we come back, we have a mandatory quarantine at a hotel that they decide, and the 3-day quarantine costs $2,000. Slats, you're an essential worker. You're a good man, Slatsy. You're a good man. Okay. Jazz have won 6 straight. They're coming off a dominant 114-75 win over Cleveland that made me look like an ass clown. Donovan Mitchell, as I said, won't play. He scored 19 points. Since the All-Star break, he's averaging 29.2 points per game, 50% shooting, and 46% from three-point range. The Jazz only needed Mitchell for 25 minutes. Gobert went for 18 and 17. Conley went for 18. And they've won 20 straight at home after dropping their first 2 home games of the season. Now they're on the road for this one. Utah led 53-34 at the half. The Cavs shot under 30%. And opponent's lowest scoring first half of the season for the Jazz. Now, the Jazz held them to the lowest point scoring, whatever. So, with the news of Donovan Mitchell, I almost made a quick, brash decision, and then I stopped myself. And I studied it a little bit more, and I was like, okay, obviously it's going to need more study. I was going to do what I used to do last year. Whenever Donovan was out, I would take Ingles over points and assists. And it's his points are at 13.5, and his points and assists are at 18.5. But then I researched it a little more, and just a little. I mean, like maybe 8 or 9 more minutes, because I was rushing to get everything prepared for the show. And it's when Conley's out. So Conley was out most of last year. So Conley would be out, Donovan Mitchell would be out, and then Ingles would have the ball in his hands all game long. And now that Conley's rolling, it stopped me from doing that. Okay. And Robert Cherry says, Mitchell, I see Grizzlies money line. Why not? We got to lose. And Uncle Oliver on the Jazz Memphis first quarter under. David Sharp on Utah first half -2. Easy money. They played 2 times last week, and Jazz were up double digits at the half both games. Grizzlies kryptonite is the Jazz defense when they funnel everything to Rudy. I'm going to love watching Jonas Valanciunas because he's coming off a big game, and this is the test, right? Rudy. Old COVID mouth himself. Bobby M says, when do we start talking baseball? Bobby M, tomorrow. Unfortunately, it won't be until tomorrow, but it will be every day and every show. And it's a marathon. And thank God that we have spectacular MLB cappers in the chat. Viper MB is on the under. Memphis snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 120-110 win at Houston on Monday. David Sharp gave me the trend saying don't take the Grizzlies first half, and I still did. They lose the first half and cover the full game. I must listen. Valanciunas 30 and 15. Desmond Bain goes, and Brooks each had 17. Justice Winslow sat out with a sore right thigh. He's been ruled out for tonight. Grayson Allen injured his hip on Monday. X-rays were negative, but not sure if he'll step in. Brian Warner, much love. Shrimp and lobster fettuccine screaming your name. Yeah, I get it. Brian, my man. Okay. So I don't know what to do here without Donovan Mitchell. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the Jazz roll. Not necessarily offensively or smooth, even without Spider. So I've got no move here at this point on Jazz Grizzlies. David Sharp on Utah first half -2 easy money. So I did. Oh no, I copied and pasted his last comment. So I am going to copy and paste that. Uncle Oliver on that first quarter under. I'm going to copy both of your looks here, you guys, so I can peruse them. Mitch Fearing's on Clarkson over 28 points, rebounds and assists. And Gas Station Sushi says handicapping and betting overnight is the key to baseball. You're absolutely right, Gas Station Sushi. And that will be a part of my repertoire all year. Be part of my repertoire all year. Oh, I'm nervous just talking about it. Okay. It's such a long season. It's just so tough. Okay, let's keep rolling, everybody. We move on to Knicks Timberwolves. 8 p.m. Eastern. Knicks 24 and 23, 10 and 14 on the road at the Timberwolves, 11 and 36, 6 and 17 at home. We're at Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Knicks last 5 are 3 and 2. Their pace is 25th in the NBA. They've spent a lot of the year being the slowest paced team of the year in the league. 96.59 possessions a game. Timberwolves 1 and 4. They're 5th in pace, 100.90 possessions a game. And Aaron Gaza says, take Miami today, fade them tomorrow against Golden State Warriors. Oh, that's makes sense. Dutch Boy Fresh also pop these up here. Oh, look at that. Mr. Quickie. Okay, copy that. We have an underlook from Dutch on this spot here. Wolves, Knicks. And we also have this here. If you can get Morant 18.5 points, lock it in, move to 19.5 at most books. And we already have looks here for David Sharp. Washington under 83 wins. Rockies under 62 wins. Ooh. I will copy and paste that. I used to be a copy and pasting machine. That was when I had the legend Lodels beside me. We've got to get it back in action. All right, Mitch Fearing says Thibodeau rolls over Wolves. -3.5. Take him. Dylan Turner on Towns rebounds. All right, let's break down this game, and let's start with the market move. We have a market move here. Minnesota opening up as 3-point dogs. They're now 3.5-point dogs, and this under is being bet. Opened at 221 offshore. It's now at 218.5. DX Filer, I appreciate you. You're another OG low bagger who's been with me since the beginning, and I'm very thankful to have you in my life, my guy. Respect. All right. Let's break this down. We've got lots of work still to do. Knicks had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 98-88 loss at home to Miami. Julius Randle led New York with 22 points. Derrick Rose had 16, and Manuel Quickley had 12. Both Rose and Quickley doing that off the bench. It was interesting after the game because there's clearly a really good vibe on this team for the first time in years. And Julius Randle after the game smiled at the camera and said, we're bouncing back. Watch us. We'll bounce back. And, that's new. Derrick Rose, by the way, is questionable due to left ankle soreness. So keep that in mind. And Mitchell Robinson had successful surgery. Fractured his 5th metatarsal in his right foot. Minnesota lost their second. Of course, yeah, I'll be in action Friday. And very possibly we'll move from Tuesday to Saturday very soon so that we have Saturday for horses. Minnesota lost their second straight game, 112-107 at Brooklyn on Monday night. Cat, 31 points and 12 boards. Now, His dad, Carl Towns, was at Barclays Center. First time watching him in person since Carl's wife, Kat's mom, died. So, of course, he played extremely hard. And had I known that Carl Towns was going to be there watching his son play, I would have been on Cat props. My question is that we know that there was a reason why Jimmy Butler left, and that's because he was tired of watching Wiggins and Cat play video games. Well, he wouldn't sit there and watch him. He'd, disrespect him and leave the room. But is this a letdown spot for Karl Anthony Towns after his dad watched him in Brooklyn and likely didn't come to Minnesota with them? Anthony Edwards goes for 23 and 10. Okogie is questionable with COVID-19 protocols. So with that all being said, is this a Knicks spot? Do the Knicks take care of business here? Dutch boy, I agree Towns is a talent. Imagine if he had a work ethic. And wow, gas station says the Morant toll is now 20 and a half. I mean, the Wolves are a much better team with Malik Beasley back after his suspension. There's no doubt about it. But there was something I picked up from Julius Randle. Really, there really was. I was like, you know what? This is a different Knicks team than we remember, and this might be a bounce back spot for him. Dizzy Rothstein in the house, leaning over in the Knicks game. T-Wolves have the worst defense in the league. Knicks will score more than 110 tonight. Just feels like a different Knicks squad. And Bled says just keep taking Knicks unders. Rondell Berkeley's on Knicks first quarter. JT's on the Knicks. Rondell Berkeley on Jordan Clarkson scored 20 plus and a Jazz win at plus 154. Dylan Turner's on Towns rebounds. Mitch Fearing's also on the Knicks. There's Nathan Cerna in the house. Walla Walla Doe's going to hit Cat over 3.5 assists. Yeah, Minnesota just played so well against Brooklyn. Pull this says Minnesota. Do I like them? You know what? I'm not succeeding in NBA enough to make a move on a spot that I'm not sure of. So I'm gonna move on. And then Alex Ramirez started the Spidey play of the day is on the Wolves +4. So okay, all right, that's done. And David Sharp said that's why you got to follow your boy Dutch. There's always talking about John Morant. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on, guys. 8 p.m. Eastern, Toronto Raptors at Oklahoma City Thunder. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Raptors over their last 5 are 1-4. Their pace is 15th in the NBA, 97.90 possessions a game. The Thunder are 2-3 over the last 5. Their pace is third with 102.40 possessions a game. The Raptors lost their third straight game, 118-104 at Detroit in ugly fashion. Detroit led 35-27 after one quarter, then scored the first 11 points of the second. It was never close. The Pistons led by as many as 23 in the fourth quarter. Oh, God. I remember it like it was yesterday. And the Pistons they are also a tricky team to figure out. And watching them smack the Raptors in the face was disheartening, to say the least. Anunoby scored 19 points. Gary Trent added 15. I wasn't even on the Raptors. Just disgusted at what I was watching now. So Toronto was out DeAndre Bembry for health and safety protocols. But then Jalen Harris with the right hip pointer, Patrick McCaw with a swollen left knee, and Paul Watson health and safety protocols will all be out of the lineup. And I was sitting there this morning going, Jalen Harris, Patrick McCaw, and Paul Watson? Didn't we just win the NBA championship 2 years ago? Fucking joke. Fucking joke. Oh, man. And then this Thunder team, beaten and battered as they are 8-point dogs against this Raptors team. Total opens up at 224, now 223. David Sharp says, I'm off this game. Raptors should handle this spot, but I've lost too much on the Raptors. They've got to show me something. The Czar going with the Raptors, Blazers money line spread. Aaron Gaza. So, yeah, Shea Gilgeous is out long-term, and Dort is out as well. Bailey Riplinger says, so ready for some MLB action. Yes, it's going to be there's going to be a ton of it. Let's just quickly – I didn't have the Thunder injuries in my breakdown, and I don't know why I didn't. So let's just go to them very quickly here and just make sure. So we know that no Shea, no Dort. It feels like this might be the time, even with them out, to back this Thunder team +8 at home. So let's just quickly. So I'm just popping this up right now. I have it out for every other game. I just, for some reason, don't have it here, and I can't just blow past it. So Muscala ruled out. Dort concussion ruled out. Shea out, and we know that Shea and Baisley are out. Ray Charles saying Raps is putting up awful numbers. MHP saying Raps lost a lot of buckets without Powell. You know, I think the Thunder cover 8. Don't we all think that? I know, Aaron, guys, they're missing a lot. Yeah, Albaros, I ended up plus 1.7 units on the day through all the sports, 7 and 5. I have not made any moves yet, predictions guy. I've been a little nervous about MLB starting, to be honest with you. Blood's W saying Thunder only good on the road. Viper says I think the over is a better look. Krishan Cassandra says Raps have given up. It's obvious. You know, the Raps were so bad in their last game that they're capable of bouncing back. Look, I'm going to move past it. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Sacramento, San Antonio. We're seeing these guys match up again. And, man, how did this spot – how did I not take the over the last time these teams met? For the life of me, very upsetting. We're at AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. Mitch Fearing says take the over, and that's one thing I don't do, Mitch. You know, I track all my records. If I miss a spot and it's a total, I can't take it again when the two teams play against each other the next time. My ROI is just terrible. Or take it because I missed it. It doesn't really work like that. Yeah, same thing. Jay Mills, my man. 11 a.m. long shows. And then we'll discuss it. You know, you guys will have all the power again. So it'll be whatever you guys want, whatever time you guys want. Bobby M says, when's the next big group trip to Vegas? Bobby M, it is for Kentucky Derby. And I can't be there, sadly. Oh, we did. There's no doubt about that, Noli. It was a very wonderful run. You're right. I should go in and feel that confidence. But 162 game season, Noli, the way you guys handle it is spectacular, and it really beats you down. Yes, Nilo, I'm definitely doing a Good Friday show. Why not? This is well, I won't say it's all I got because I have a beautiful family here, but this means everything to me. So yeah, I'll do a Friday show. All right. Thank you, Jay Mills, my man. Okay, let's go back to this here. So the Kings are 5-0 over their last 5. They're paced 14th in the NBA, 98.10 possessions a game. Spurs 1-4, 18th at 97.70 possessions a game. And this total's dropped from 232 to 230.5. And we often see in these head-to-head matchups or back-to-back matchups or home and homes or whatever they are is that there are a tale of two different games. The Czar says Detroit has gaming in Tree. Why even go to Vegas? Just a place where everybody can get to pretty easily for pretty cheap and everybody can hang together. You know, that's the goal. But I'd love to have a meetup in Detroit, man. Okay. Sacramento's won 5 straight rolling. They're coming off a 132-115 win at the Spurs on Monday night. De'Aaron Fox scored 24. Rashawn Holmes had 23 and 12. Buddy Hield added 24. The Kings, they've won 7 of 8. Their starters combined for 96 points. They each got at least 14. They all played 30-plus. The Kings are averaging 120 points a game during their winning streak, outscoring their opponents by 11. Sacramento remains 11th in the Western Conference, but just outside that final play-in spot. Whiteside misses 3rd straight game. The Spurs have DeJounte Murray, 23 points, but he only had 2 points in the second half. Derek White added 19 points, Podol 17. Spurs are 1-4 to open a 9-game homestand. The Spurs have fallen behind by double digits in 4 of the 5 games during the homestand. What a bunch of bums. Bunch of bums. So Spurs open as 3-point favorites now, 2.5. Look, I can't trust the Spurs. I got 6.5 points when they played the Clippers without Kawhi on the second half of back-to-back, and they couldn't take care of business. So, and I can't then take the over, and the under's already moved 2 points, so I'm going to have to do nothing. Let's go to Bucks Lakers. All right, I moved here on this spot. I moved on the under. I got 222. And I moved on the Bucks first quarter, first half. This has to be an angry Bucks team, doesn't it? And I didn't want to triple up. I didn't want to go first quarter, first half, full game, but they've lost 3 straight. They're 8.5-point favorites. It opens with 8. We're at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. The Bucks are 29-17, 11-10 on the road. Lakers 13-17, 16-10 on the home. And Aaron Gordon says Drummond debut game, and that doesn't concern me. I don't think he's going to get a lot of run, although he's going to start over Gasol. Or, get Gasol's minutes. Bucks last 5 are 2-3, and look at their pace. So a week ago, I was saying on this show, look at their pace last 5, 108 possessions a game. They're now down to 100 possessions a game. Lakers are 2-3, 6th in the NBA with 100.70 possessions a game. And pull this, pull that, saying Sacramento free money again. You could easily be right. Aaron Gaza also on that move. The Czar says Andre Drummond has a lot to play for, though, but he's not in shape, and they're not going to throw him into the fire. He'll play 18 minutes. Can you give him more? Trollworm says he's going to have about 30 minutes a game. I agree with that, but first out, the Bucks have lost 3 straight, and of course, this is a spot where you'd like to have Bobby Portis coming in off the bench to help out. Bucks have lost 3 straight. They're coming off a 129-105 loss to the Clippers on Monday night. They were outscored 72-50 in the second half. They were awful. The Clippers had a 25-6 edge in second chance points. They out-rebounded the Bucks 46-32. And Antetokounmpo led the Bucks with 32 points, 10 of 12 from the line. Drew Holiday added 24 points. The Bucks came in tied for first in the NBA in scoring with an average of 119.3 points per game. David Sharp says Bucks could smash. I like that look to the under, though. He says Bucks don't play defense. Lakers score 100 games over. I think that the Lakers' rhythm is going to be a little bit out of whack with Andre Drummond. And I also think that their defense is going to be stronger with Andre Drummond. So I do understand your fear of what I'm doing. Dizzy Rothstein on the Bucks says to play all the day for Dizzy Rothstein. Bucks shot 68% in the first quarter, closed with an 18-3 run. They were up 38-26. That was their longest lead of the game. PJ Tucker left calf strain, missed his 3rd straight after appearing in the first 3 for his new game. Bobby Portis' health and safety didn't make the trip. Crooks ruled out, and it's unclear when Jeff Teague will make his debut, when he'll be available. Johnny K, much love, man. Thank you for all the insights and sharing your action with us. JT says Lakers will control the pace and may play big ball. Viper says Bucks smash shot. So I already moved on this. But I just did first quarter, first half. First quarter minus 2.5, first half minus 4.5, and I took the under 222. And I can understand why you guys are on a full game, but something's been happening to these Bucks in the second half of games, and maybe they changed it around here. But Lakers coming off their second straight win, 96-93 at home versus Orlando on Sunday. Schroeder scored 24 points. Kuzma added 21 and 11, 12th double-double of the season. Montrezl Harrell added 18 and 11. Andre Drummond will make his Lakers debut Wednesday against the Bucks. He'll start in place of Gasol. So what's Gasol going to be doing? What's his role? Because Montrezl Harrell is already the backup center, and he's been great. 15.2 points, 63.8% from the field, 6.8 boards in 25.3 minutes per game. He's averaging career lows, 4.8 points, 3.8 boards, field goal percentage 40.4. He just had to deal with COVID. All right, Rashad Davids. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Ray Charles says in his first outing first outing for Drummond, maybe he's going to take the rebound props over. Dutch Boy Fresh on Kuz over 16.5. He had 22 of the last 3. Yes, he did, because the one game he didn't have 20. The game he had 4 points. 6 points. I was on his over. And no, sadly, super cool, bitch cool. LeBron James is not back. Sorry to break your spirit there. The Lakers are 2-3 without James and Davis. They're fourth in the Western Conference at 30-17. 2.5 games in front of Denver and Portland. 2 games behind second place Phoenix. And a game in back of third place Clippers. So I've got 3 spots on this game. And then I moved, and I missed the market move, and I still took it. Oh, good. It's gone down to 217. Okay. I don't even think I got a hook on it. I think I got just 218 straight. I got 218 and a half. Okay, good. Okay, I'm on the under in Bulls Suns. I got 218 and a half, but man, when it first came out with, strict limits, it was at 221. And that almost made me stop, and I said, no, move on it. Bulls 19-26, 10-10 on the road at Suns 32-14, 16-8 at home. Oh no, Dutch, I think your Kuz is a fine look. I got hurt by it, and that's why I'm just hesitant. All right, Rashad Davids. I imagine he's using the Bucks money line as a parlay piece. Lillard under the points total. That was such a good look by Dutch. I love it. And Harden over 2.5 threes for Rashad Davids. Copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that, Rashad. Ron Lofton says Suns a money-making machine. Great lockdown D to close out games on first half -3.5 and full game -7. I'm just a little hesitant. Now, Dutch Boy Fresh had his freshest look. It was Suns -6 yesterday, and it cashed. But I'm just a little hesitant on the second half of a back-to-back to do anything but the under. Bulls pace last 5. They're 12th in the NBA, 98.4 possessions a game. They're 1-4. Suns pace last 5, 4-1, 28, and pace 94.53 possessions a game. The Czar are going to make it easy tonight. Worst rosters in the NBA right now, current injuries. Raps and Blazers money line. Yeah. Bulls are coming off their 4th straight loss on Monday night, 116-102 at Golden State. All the losses have come by double digits except for the loss to the Cavs, which was by 9. They've looked awful. Vucevic, 21-9-6. They turned the ball over 19 times. Kobe White tried to warm up, but he's got muscle spasms in his neck. So Zach LaVine's ankle is not great. He's considered questionable. Garrett Temple, doubtful for Wednesday's game at Phoenix. It's crazy. You thought when they made the Vucevic trade, it looks like this team's trying to get a run in the playoffs. Now they look like they could be a lottery team again. Spenny saying 4 of his last 5 have gone over. Yeah, just the one I was on. God, awful. There's Jason Albert in the house. Great to see you, Jay. So the Suns are on the second half of a home back-to-back. That still makes things a little easier. Ron often loving McCall. Yeah, he's such a good basketball player. That dunk, I guess Jay Crowder's 3 and fouled on it was the biggest spot in the game. Suns are on the second half, home back-to-back. Devin Booker goes for 21. Sarge, he was really good. He went for 20. Suns have won 6 of their past 7. Crowder was a monster. Kaminsky's unavailable, but who cares? There's Schwartzy. John Schwartz in the house. All right. So let's go over NBA and see what the moves are. And I don't know if I added anything, but I'm going to add that Dame look. I think it's great. So I'm on Norm Powell over 17.5 points at -120. And Ray Charles says LaVine isn't shooting good. The ankle's bothering him. Without a doubt. Yeah, thank God, Jason Albert. But we're just going to keep firing. Although I'm pretty tentative here. I can understand the Rockets in the under in that Houston Nets game. I'm going to look into it a little more, and I need to know about Wall. Wow, not a lot of action for me. I'm on the Bucks first quarter, first half, 2.5, 4.5, and the under 222. And I'm on the under 218.5 in both Suns. So I've kept it pretty simple here. David Sharp saying Bulls and Suns are both 8-2 in the first half under. So what I'm going to do is as soon as the show's over, I'm going to load in on this spot with the Dame under player prop and give our Dutch Boy Fresh a shout out. And That's my action. Let's see what Aaron Gaza's official plays are. Heat -1.5. Knicks -3.5. Says take Miami today, fade them tomorrow. Indiana is in the East, so they care about the game for playoff positioning. Bloods W's on Rockets. Team total under. And polo this, polo that. Jay Crowder 3-point prop with wins usually +280, +340. Catching at a high clip. That's a great. Yeah, makes a ton of sense. Dutch Boy Fresh saying Suns are 4-1 against the spread last 5 back-to-backs. Desire says, got to remember how bad the Suns were last year. The fan base wants to win every game. Spenny Penny Bombs, couple props for him. Luka over 3.5 threes at +130. And Tyrese Halliburton over 14.5 points. I like that. Much love, Ron Lofton. And Kylie saying, insider tip, take Phoenix tonight. So in NHL, Michael Irvine, I've got to do more. I've got to spend the day now setting everything up in MLB. These are David Sharp's looks. Thank you, Schwartzy. I love it. I locked in at 17.5. I believe it's still there at the same price. Much love, Dennis. Okay. And then Gurpreet, thank you for joining us. Michael Irvine wanting to discuss MLB futures before tomorrow. I need to study and work. If anybody wants to drop the MLB futures that they're looking at or I've already moved on, why don't you pop in the chat and we'll review them right after I review NHL. So in NHL, I'm on the Flyers -1, and you can get a better line than I got. People still trying to catch a falling knife with these guys. I'm on the over 6 at -120 in Leafs Jets, and I'm on the Jets at +125. And that's it for me. So a huge card, but I'm not making a ton of picks, and hope that leads me to glory. Ray Charles saying Devin Booker should have a good game. Check his prop bets. Jason Albert loving the Braves tomorrow, and I know a lot of people loving the Braves to win it all. Walla Walla Dose shouting out to Lodels Loshak. Dennis Garcia, thoughts on Boston under the total and Atlanta over win totals? I'll copy and paste any of these questions because I'm going to study my ass off tonight. So I'm just going to do some copy and pasting for baseball from anybody and any looks that anybody's already on so we can discuss them tomorrow. Nilo Astros under 86.5 wins. I hope so, Nathan, my man. Po Buddy's Nerfed. I can understand people backing the Austin Matthews goal prop, but I think Hellebuck's hot. And Fap on Miami win total over. Going to just copy and paste all this. We have David Sharp. David Sharp on Washington and Rockies under. I think I already copied and pasted that. All right, Nathan's moving on to Rockies tomorrow. There's not going to be many opportunities to back them, and tomorrow is one of them to back them. Walla Walla Dose on Twins money line tomorrow. Predictions guy thinking about that Red Sox under. All right, you guys. So, as I mentioned, tomorrow, Gupri, just follow me on Twitter. That's where everything is. It's just at Jimmy the Bag. Bled says, what's your favorite NHL play today? Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I would say my favorite NHL, but let me just look at the odds at this point right now where the odds stand. That's gone down. So money coming in quickly on the Jets. I like the plus 125 I got. I would say, let's move over here. Sorry, it's taking a second here. I don't know why. I'm leaning towards that over 6. There's been a ton of money put in the under. But I would say the over 6 in Leafs Jets. And then the Flyers -1 I like very much. All right. Thank you guys so much. And to close the show, big thank you to everybody at odds.com, the whole team there. It was a great year working with everybody. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do some more down the line. And starting tomorrow, I will be back on the Jimmy the Bag YouTube page. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Puzzler, Rashad Davids, Polo this, Polo that. My guy JT, Aaron Gaza, Razor Sharp Picks, Bleds W, Dizzy Rothstein, North Ender, Predictions Guy, Jason Albert, Nilo celebrated his birthday yesterday. Fap Win, Po Buddies Nerfect, David Sharp, Dennis Garcia, Ray Charles, Spenny Penny Bombs, Walla Walla Dose, John Schwartz, Schwartzy Baby, Michael Irvalina, Kylie, Ron Lofton, all you guys. All you guys. I need money in the house. Jerry Beatty, Jacket, Vincente Gigante. I love you guys. The Czar, Leche, Halos Bookmakers. Squeeze that shit out. Let's go.